Azure March. Storage. Storage on the cloud. Actually, I want to remove the feature of pausing the video also, Money. Because rather than of its better use, it is misused quite recently. Because what people are trying to do is they stop the video, they do exactly what I have done, and they think that they know everything, which is not the reality. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. So storage on the cloud. Okay. Storage. Okay. So we have three major kinds of storage. Okay. Three major, but there are some minor stuffs also. Right. One is something which we call as this is disk. And remember, whenever we are using disk, disk will be attached to a machine. And in the case of cloud, the machines which we are creating are also virtual in nature. So this disk also will be a virtual disk. Am I clear on that? This disk also will be virtual in nature, right? Okay. A lot of people are trying to tell the audio issue. Guys, 1 minute, please hold on. I'll try to do the check over there because for me, every parameter looks wonderful over here. There is nothing with respect to audio. Sound check is good, right? So everything seems to be good over here. 1 minute. No, not even if there are many online people, for me, it doesn't matter because the data will be streamed in a different way. Just give me 1 minute. I'll try to ask one more check to be done. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So see, other checks are good, man. For the people who are not audible, I think you have some problem with your connection. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Because we have a lot of newcomers today. Today we might have slight disturbance around it, but we can't help it. Right. So the first kind of storage is disk. Okay. And in cloud also, we will have this disk kind of storage. And the next kind of storage which we need to worry about is something called as a network disk. Okay. So these are your shared drives on the network. So generally in your offices, you will have P drives, right? Z drives and all of that stuff. This is a network disk. Okay. Okay. Right. And then one last kind of a storage is, okay, something which we are seeing in Google Drives, OneDrives, and all of that stuff. This is, okay, I'll call it as blob storage. So whenever we are dealing with storage, these are the three major things. But apart from that, there are few minor things also. All right. So one more kind of storage. This is specific to Azure. Okay. So whatever I'm drawing with lighter lines, consider it to be a not a very prominent kind of a storage, but still we have that storage. Okay. Right. So the next one is, okay. Right. This is called as queue storage. Don't worry about the terms. We'll try to have an elaborate overview of all of them. Queue storage. Okay. And then it has something called as okay. This I am using Microsoft's logo itself because I don't have any other way of basically representing this. This is called as table storage. Okay. And one last thing which they have brought in and they are trying to push hard. Okay. So that is this last option, which is data lake. Okay, guys. So now this is what happens whenever you are trying to basically um, what when you are trying to use cloud. These are the different forms of storage which you have. Okay, right? So the basic form is, right, the disk storage, which is very prominent, and the next kind of a storage is a network disk, which might be used very frequently. And then there is something called as a blob storage. There is something called as a queue storage, and there is something called as a data lake storage, and there is something called as table storage. Right? These are the different kinds of storages, but these three are very rarely used, not used by everyone. But the other three, which are basically in bold context, are used by almost all of the customers. Okay. So totally, how many storages are there to be deal with in Azure? One is disk storage, the other one is a network disk storage, blob storage, queue storage, data lake storage, and table storage. These three are very simple in nature. So first, let me preserve this image. Okay, right. Okay, Azure March 20 storage, new folder. Images. Easy storage one. Okay, right. Dot slash images slash easy storage one dot png. Okay, so we have different kinds of storages. Okay, we'll have disk storage, and then we have network file storage. This is a network storage, and then we have blob storage. These three are major things. and then we have, okay, table storage, queue storage, and then at the last comes the data lake storage. In this classroom, we will not be speaking anything or much about data lake. Okay, but rest of the storages we'll be trying to get hold of it. Okay, right. So let me go to our first stuff. This is a disk storage. Right. So in Azure, okay, we create virtual machines. Yeah. In Azure, we create virtual machines, and virtual machines needs to have some kind of disk associated with it. Okay, and that is exactly where all of this discussion will come into play. Right. So I'll use this. You will have a Azure virtual machine which can be linked or associated with the disk. Okay, so what are the different factors to be considered over here? What is the maximum size of the disk, right? What is the speed of the disk, right? How do I vary the stuff? This will be the education over there, and then we'll have different things to worry about. But understand one thing, okay, I can use the same disk on multiple VMs. Okay, right? This is the reality, but the point is not at the same time. This disk can be connected to either this VM or this VM. That is how exactly our pen drives also work, right? In our pen drives also we have, when they are connected to one machine, okay, we have basically one machine itself can see that. But if you wanted to connect to a different machine, you have to unplug that and connect to a different machine, right? The same thing happens over here. But understand the nature of the disk over here. This disk is also, sorry, we are not speaking about a physical disk. We are speaking about this disk is also a virtual, and this machine is also virtual machine. Okay, so we are speaking about virtual disks in Azure. That is what our education would be with when it comes to the disk storage, right? Disk has to be persistent, right? Disk has to be persistent. General behavior of the disk. Okay, what are the different kinds of disks? We'll worry about it at a later point of time. Yeah, right. So now this is the first use case of the disk. Okay, specific stuff we'll be dealing. Okay, but right now just understand this broader picture first. Okay, so when I speak of disk storages, okay, these disk storages are used to attach to virtual machines. Okay, so when we attach this to the virtual machines, we need to understand only one VM can be attached at a time. So you cannot have a disk which is basically shared attached to multiple machines. So if you want that to happen, then you have to go with a network file storage, right? So now disks have, okay, pricing obviously, okay, and some factors for choosing disks are whether the disk, what is the size of the disk which you are trying to select, what is the speed of the disk, okay, and most important factor other than all of this is disks belong to regions. What do I mean by this? The meaning which I'm trying to convey out of this statement is disks have the scope of the region. So for example, if I have a disk, okay, I've connected to the machine, and now I want to connect the same disk, okay, to the other machine. Okay, yeah, you can do that, but one at a time, and one at a time to the VM in the same region, not a VM in a different region. So for example, in the earlier image when I drawn this, okay, so for example, I'll do this again. Okay, so for example, if I have this VM, this VM is from one region and this VM is from one region, then I cannot directly use that disk. We need to know what is the approach to do that. Okay, so we need to understand that part. Okay, and whenever a concept of storage comes into play, we should know two important things: backups and restores. Okay, can be done, but we have to learn how to. Okay, that is our focus, right? So whenever we are speaking about disk storages, we have important things to understand. We have to select what is the right disk. Okay, so for that we need to select what is the speed, what is the size. Okay, and one more thing. Okay, Azure has three kinds of disks. Okay, they call them as managed disks. Okay, unmanaged disks, and the third one is temporary disks. Okay, so what are these? How do we deal with them? We'll deal with the later point of time. So right now, whenever I'm speaking about this kind of a storage, this is about a disk storage. And whenever we are speaking about a disk storage, we attach it to a virtual machine. Okay, so when we attach it to the virtual machine, the factors which you need to understand is what is basically the size, speed, how do I select that? Okay, and basically disks belong to a region. How can I take backups? How can I do restores? Okay, and what are the different kinds of disks which Azure supports, and when in which case should I use what, or what is the most preferred way of basically using it? So this is something which you need to learn in disk storages. Am I clear on that so far? Yes, disk and VM should be on the same region. Are we clear so far, or do we have any doubts? Could you please see, for example, I have virtual disk which belongs to Mumbai that can be attached to the VMs which belong to Mumbai itself. Okay, so let me rephrase that in right. That is a disk in region A can be connected to virtual machine only in that region. Am I clear so far? Any questions you have? Are we clear? So can we go to the next area? Please acknowledge more, because I am used to the people in the classroom. Right now I don't have anyone. Okay, so yeah, how do we schedule the disk for multiple VMs? See, you will never schedule a disk for multiple VM. Can you tell me one use case where you are doing that? Okay, for that reason only we use something called as network disks, or SAN or NAS kind of system, storage area networks or network attached storage. Okay, so when we do data recovery strategy, we will deal with these storage types. So possibly you might not be able to do data recovery for all the disk types. Storage types, yes, you might, but disk types, all the disk types do not support what you call data recovery. Okay, because there are some things which are temporary there. Okay. So when we deal into disk storages, then we'll worry about it. Yes. So I'm speaking about this individual disk. cannot be connected to multiple machines at the same time. Okay, right. Now let us worry about network disks. Right, this is the exact problem what network disk tries to solve. Network disk is okay, a disk which can be shared for multiple virtual machines. One moment. Okay. Network disk is a disk which cannot be connected to multiple virtual machines at the same time. But understand one thing. Okay. So whenever you are speaking about disks, okay, let us assume that this is your VM. Okay. Right. And then you will have one hard disk in your VM. Okay. So this is where possibly you might have your operating system which you use for boot and all of that stuff. Okay. And then, okay, network share is a disk. Okay, this network storage is a disk which is present outside of your machine, which is not in your machine's frame. Now, basically in this case, what happens is whenever you're accessing this disk, you are using a network. And the secondary thing is we will not use this network disk as a primary disk. Okay. So primary disk is very simple, or a root disk. There are many terms for that. Okay. A disk with OS in it is primary disk. So network disks are always for extended disk. For example, you will never use network disk for C drive. You will use network disk for other drives. Okay, right? So the reason why we use it is this is VM1. I can have VM2. Okay, and both the VMs will be able to attach to the network disk. Okay, so this is where we will use this network disk kind of architectures, right? So this is basically called as we can implement this with two kinds of stuffs, right? One is storage area networks, the other one is network attached storages. Your companies might be using NetApps, Isolons, different kinds of. There is something called as pure storage. Okay, they might be using all of that, but network disk is basically meant for that. Okay, in Azure we have network disk supported using okay Azure file share. There is something called as Azure file share which can do the trick over here. Okay, why can't we attach a disk to multiple VMs at the same time? Okay, so let just think of the solution. Okay, so you have a hard disk which is connected to your laptop. How can you connect it to multiple VMs at the same time? Is it possible? Yes, Shweta, I think you have asked the question, right? Yeah. Yeah, can you connect your hard disk to multiple VMs at exactly the same time? మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ నా ల్యాప్టాప్ పక్క పక్కన పెట్టుకొని మీ డిస్క్ ని మన ఇద్దరం వాడేసుకోవచ్చా? Logic is same. Okay, if I want to use your hard disk, I have to shut down your machine, unplug from your system, and then do the connect it to my laptop. Yes or no? Yeah, that's what is basically happening. And there is one more question is basically ephemeral storage. Rajkumar speaks about ephemeral storage. Rajkumar, I think today we are learning some terms, whether it is ephemeral or non-ephemeral. I have not defined it yet. We'll be doing that in a subsequent classes, right? So depending on what is the kind of disk which you are trying to select, I can speak whether it is ephemeral or non-ephemeral. Okay. It is not one word answer saying that in Azure it is ephemeral or non-ephemeral. It depends on what is the disk which you are trying to select. Okay, right. And then here, can we also use RAID? Okay, Nageswaran, I think let me speak about one scenario now. Why do we use RAID technology actually? Oh, backup. No, it is not for backup, by the way. RAID is definitely not for backup. RAID uses backup to do something. RAID is ensure that even if your one disk fails in your laptop or system, the other disk will immediately act as a primary. Yes or no? Okay, we can do that. Okay, in case of disaster recoveries, in case of disasters is where RAID comes into play. Yeah, now you don't need to do all of that in cloud. Okay, because okay, the way disks work, okay, we will be discussing about that, because the disk doesn't work in the way like how it works on a physical server. They are slightly different. Okay, so RAID, can it be implemented? The answer is yes, you can implement RAID, but it is not necessary until unless your application doesn't launch if it is not a RAID system. Okay, on cloud, let not only in Azure, whether it is in AWS, Google Cloud, or any kind of cloud, you really don't require a RAID as a technology. Okay, because RAID is something physical in nature. Okay, RAID is not for virtual disk disasters, right? Okay, so in Azure, we have something called as Azure File Share, which can achieve this. Okay. And now let me go storage by storage so that we are clear about the stuff. And then comes the blob storage. Blob storage is storage system which in which you can store files. It doesn't matter what files we store, and each file gets a unique URL. I'll not speak about HTTP or HTTPS. For example, I'm quite sure that you might be using your Google Drive. In your Google Drive, whenever you upload a file, okay, for every file you will get a unique URL. You can share it to others or you cannot share it to others. That's your choice. But every file which you upload to your Google Drive is basically a blob story, or basically a file with a URL, right? Okay. So all of these concepts were basically derived when Amazon came up with something called a simple storage service. So in simple storage service, or S3 in Amazon, this is the first kind of a storage which used to give that. So you store some files onto my S3 bucket, okay, and I will be basically giving you URLs. If you want to share it to others, you can share it directly, or else even if you want to download it internally, you will be basically downloading it using the same URL for which you will have an access. So here, okay, in disks you need to worry about one important thing. Okay, so for example, if I use a disk on Windows, can I attach the same disk on Linux machine? I have a disk which is connected to my Windows laptop. Can I remove the disk and connect it to a Windows, connect it to a non-Windows system? No. Why is the question? Okay, so our disks in Windows, yes, absolutely, Sarath. Our disks in Windows basically use a file system called as NTFS, and in Linux generally they use something called as ext4 or XFS, and these two file systems are not compatible. Okay, now here blob storage doesn't have to, okay, no need for us to worry about file systems, because okay, any file can be uploaded. Okay, in Azure the limit is individual file size cannot be greater than 4.7 terabytes. So any file which has a size less than or equals to 4.7 terabytes can be uploaded into blob storage, and you can access this file from anywhere across the world. And that is exactly how your Google Drive is working. That is exactly how your YouTube works. Okay, if you take this storage level and add something called as CDN in the front of it, that becomes something like YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, Netflix. They all use this blob kind of storages. They all use this blob kind of storages, right? So we have to understand this blob storages. Okay, and then there is these things. I'll just quickly write it. Table storage. Okay, table storages, NoSQL, table data can be stored directly here. Okay, we'll worry about these points later. Okay, and then there is something called as queue storage. Okay, Azure supports queue storage. Okay, for message queue kind of functionality. Okay, and then at the last we have data lake storage. Okay, Azure supports data lake storage. This is used if your company is anything doing with data sciences or Hadoop kind of systems, right? So I don't want to go anything in this. My main focus is understanding these three things at this moment: disk storage, network storage, and blob storage. Okay, we'll come back to what is a message queue at a later point, Shweta. Today that is not a concern at all. Okay, we'll worry about it at a later point of time. Once we finish this, then I'll speak about what a message queue is, stable storages, and all of that. Okay, right. Yeah, individual size 4.7 TB is very much huge. That's the whole reason why. Let us assume that you want to build your own entertainment platform like Prime Video. So then what you can do is you can just go to the blob storage, upload your movie videos, and build some application around it, so that you basically sell your movies by subscriptions and all of that stuff. Okay, so and these days no one is using FTPs anymore. Okay, if they are not onto the server, if they want to share it to others, they're using blob storages or S3 buckets or this kind of storage. We all are evident about what Google Drive has done to pen drives. The same thing over here, right? So blob storage is exactly the same thing. Am I clear on, at least do we have an idea on what are the different kinds of storages, or at least the name perspective? But I want you to understand that these three are major for us initially: disk storage, network disk storage, and a blob storage. Am I clear on that? Okay. Now let me speak about one stuff which is called as Azure Storage Account. So what Microsoft's thought process was, okay, Microsoft thought that, okay, why do I need to worry about multiple storages by learning multiple different services? Okay, so Azure created one service for all kinds of storage. There is an exclusion to this. There is one case where you have two options. Okay, so for example, Azure Storage Account, from Azure Storage Account, something called as Azure Storage Account, you can create, okay, can create, okay, disk storage, okay, you can create table storage, you can create network file share, you can basically create the queue storage, even data lake storage. Okay, so Azure created storage account as one stop solution for all different kinds of storages. But there is one exclusion. Later, for disks, Azure has created something called, or Azure has created something called as Azure Managed Disks. So in Azure, whenever you are learning storages, you need to deal with only two services. One is storage account, the other one is managed disks. Am I clear on this? So in Azure, we have only two kinds of solutions or two kinds of services which you need to worry about. One is a managed disk, the other one is a Azure storage account. Clear on this? Okay, fine. Now, what I want is basically let us log in into Azure portal. Okay. Now, in Azure portal, I'll select this and let me go to all services. So let us look at all the different possible storage solutions which are basically mentioned. I'll directly jump to storage. Okay. All right. So if you see over here, these are the different storage services which we have. Okay. So this is the whole storage stuff of Azure. Okay. So everything either directly or indirectly will touch storage account. Okay. Right. Sorry. Okay. Right. So right. Azure. Okay. Let me directly use that. This is 3. Okay. Right then. Now if you look at this, okay. Okay, fine. We'll start with storage accounts, right? And then we will basically look into what these things are. But okay, these have become very popular these days. Store simple devices, recovery services vaults will basically indirectly use it. Okay, and then we'll also understand what these things are meant for. Okay, so right. So when it comes to these data link, right? Data lake kind of storages, we will not be going with a great deal, but we will try to understand especially what is present over this whole area. Okay, but all of them have some kind of a link to a storage account. Okay, so this is something which you need to worry about. And now let me show you one more thing. Okay, managed risks. Okay, yeah, they have directly given us risks. Okay, so this is one more area. Remember, I said that in Azure you have two basic popular storage services. One is storage account, the other one is managed disk. So from here you can create disk, but this is only for virtual disk which can be connected to a machine. Whereas storage account speaks about all the other kinds of different kinds of services, right? So what you do is let us all create one virtual machine. Can you please go ahead and create one virtual machine? Please do it along with me. Operating system is your choice. Okay. I'll basically create something called as disk demo. Why is it taking this much of time? Okay. So disk demo. Okay. So I'll give a virtual machine name also as disk demo qt. Okay. Generally, I'm tend to use central US. Stick to that. I'm really not worried about this. Okay. Let me change the size to B1S. Okay. Let me give some password. Right. So only 22 port is fine. We will all used to click on review and create, but I want to go into this next section, which is disks. So are you seeing there is something called as this OS disk type? Okay, where we have some disk storages available. And over here, it is giving us some options. And apart from all of that, there is one more interesting thing which it tries to tell that, okay, do you want to use a managed disk? No, I don't want to use a managed disk. Okay. So then it is speaking about something called as ephemeral OS disk, managed disk. No, what is the storage account? Okay. So we have to understand these kinds of areas before we get into everything. Okay. So right now I'll stick it to default and then I'll simply say review and create. Okay, right. So let it create a virtual machine and then basically let us try to understand what it is. Okay. So while the machine is under creation, okay, I'm expecting that you guys are also creating that. Okay. Okay. So I'm using this software called as Xmind. It is very easy to organize whatever you learn in some kind of images, okay, which are easily rememberable. So in Azure, we have storage, okay, and the kinds of storage which we can basically deal with is we can deal with disk storage, we can deal with network storage, okay. Let me do one more thing. Structure organization up to down. Okay, we can deal with disk storage. Uh, we can basically deal with blob storage, okay, and then table, and then queue, and then okay, data lake. So for creating disk storage, you have two options. You can use something called as storage account, and for creating this, you can use something called as managed disk. Okay. For all of this rest of the options, it is all storage. That's it. Now, I think if you look at this image will tell you the whole story, that too very simply. Okay. What is the type of storage which we selected? And today I'm not worried about it. Okay. Let the machine be created and let us identify for ourselves. Okay. Now, I have not changed any default value. If you go to your virtual machine, okay, are you seeing this section called as disks? Okay. So right now what it has done is it has created some disk for us which is called as this, which is a 30 GB of size, which is a 30 GB of size. And there is something called as add data disk, there is something called as swap disk, there is something called as encryption. We need to understand hell lot of stuff over here. So this is going to be our discussion going forward, right? So if you basically look at disks, okay, so we have a, you select a virtual machine and you will select a disk, right? Then you will have the stuff, okay, and there is a term called as OS disk and there is a term called as data disk. We need to understand all of this and we need to understand what these things also do, okay. So this is going to be what we will try to do from our next class, right? So from tomorrow onwards, our focus will be on how do I basically use these disks in the virtual machines, right? So Azure disk, okay. So create a virtual machine in Azure, okay. Use default options, okay. We'll understand what the options, whatever I've selected, okay. But if you look at this, it has created a disk, not a storage account, okay. So how do I understand all of that? We'll basically worry about it at a later point of time, okay. Now if you basically get into virtual machines, okay, in virtual machines you will be seeing something called as disks, okay. In virtual machines you will be selecting disks, and remember, are you seeing these settings? I think I've said this earlier in the classroom, but each of this is something which is called as blade. So go into the virtual machines and select the disk blade. If I am basically trying to tell that, it means that you click on this disk section, okay. Create a virtual machine, navigate to the disk blade, and you would see the disk with the following information, okay. I think I've saved it, right? Not this. This. Yeah. Okay. So so our next steps are, okay, understanding disk storage in Azure. This is what we will try to do in our next class. What is the disk storage, and how can you basically create different kinds of disk storage in Azure? What are the what when you see something called as ephemeral disk, when you see something called as temporary disk, when you see something called as OS disk, what does it mean? Okay, and what are all the other operations related to the disk? Okay, and then we will go into the network disk. Will in the meantime, we cannot speak about any storage in Azure without speaking about storage account. So all of this will be covered, and we will have this continuous session anyway in anywhere tomorrow, and there will try to understand what is that we are expected to do there. Clear? Any questions which you have? Okay. Today I just wanted to set the context on storage. Okay. Right. After 1 month of storage, you are recommended to use pay as you go. Pay as you go. G Chandra, I think you have asked me the question which type of storage which you have selected. I have not selected any kind of storage, but by default, whenever you create a virtual machine, a disk storage is selected by Azure. Am I clear? Okay, guys. So I think that's what I had. As I said in the beginning of this class, for the few days, I think we'll have the problem of classroom not available. How about the lab sessions? Let us try to give me 1 more days of time. In next 2 or 3 days, I'll be ensuring how the lab problem can be solved. Okay, so that is give me just time, because yesterday night itself we got this intimation, and it is too much early to come up with plans. But till that time, is there any charges applicable for creating a virtual machine? Yes, there are. But try to create a free virtual machine. You go to the Azure in directdevops.blog. I think I've shown you how to create a virtual machine already, and try to select the machine which is of size B1S. Okay. So if you go over here, there will be a video which speaks on how to create a Azure virtual machine. If you follow that, it will not be of any price to you. Okay. Right. So just give us a couple of days of time, especially for the classroom people. You might have some differences or difficulty. For online people, I think it is already seamless. We are doing the same thing whatever I'm trying to do. So you should not, for you it should not be of any much of anything of difference. So how are we going to address the doubts? How are we going to address the practice problems? Just give me couple of, I think not even couple of days. Today, by end of the day today, I think we should have some kind of a solution around it. Clear on this? Yeah. Okay, man. So thanks for your time, and we'll meet again tomorrow to continue the discussion on storage. Yeah. Okay. Fine then. So by tomorrow, you tell me whether the webcam is irritating or useful. I can switch it off if you're finding it disturbing, right? Because sometimes you don't want to see the unnecessary windows. Especially, I don't like to do that. Okay. Fine. Okay then. Thanks.